Hi everyone, my name is Seth from ComingOutTarot.com. Thanks for joining me again on this journey to finding your passion. I hope that this video, which is a next-gen series of finding your interests in order to find your passion, is helpful. Please let me know at ComingOutTarot.com, and I hope you enjoy the video. Hi everybody, on this journey towards finding your passion, I want to talk about the interests that you may have had when you were 10. I think that finding your passion has never been easier. I certainly think it doesn't have to be hard. I mean, who thought that taking a trip down memory lane could be something that would be as simple, fun, and easy a way to help you find what you love to do? And the bonus here is that you've got me to help you through it, because there's a couple things I think I can offer that can help you go down that memory lane experience that can make it a fruitful one as you try and discover what your interests are on the journey to find your passion. So let's get started. We want to discover what fulfills you and what drives you to be successful and how you can apply that today. And that's what the ultimate goal is, right? So first, I think one of the ways you can get started is by grabbing a photo album. If you're old enough, I'm going to say if you're as old as me, which isn't that old, but if you're old enough, you may have some of those photo albums. If you don't, this is an opportunity to go see family, to see parents, grandparents, siblings that might have those, haul them out. And this always reminds me of my family would always pull them out after dinner was over, and you'd be sitting around the table having some pie and tea or coffee, depending on who you were, and you'd be flipping through that album and reminiscing, right? Well, let's be purposefully reminiscing with this photo album. So pull it out, find a safe space, or do it with family. It's great to do it with family. You may discover memories about yourself that you don't remember, but would help inform this interest discovery on your way to finding your passion. So as you flip through it, start to talk through it, or remember those times, or look for those pictures that show you actively doing something. Maybe you're actively teaching someone, or like your sister or your brother or a cousin, or you're actively grabbing a bunch of plants and mashing them up and turning them into something medicinal or magic, something like, you might remember what that magic was you were creating, or that medicine was you were creating. Or maybe you stayed out too late and there's pictures of you coming home when the street lights are coming on and you're in trouble. But what was it you were doing when you got caught coming home when those streetlights came on? What kept you busy? What kept you interested? What was the focus? So I think that you might remember some of those things by flipping through some pictures. You may also find some things like pictures of you playing board games. What were the board games you liked? Did you like being the banker when you played Monopoly? Did you play something like Risk that took some strategy and skill? What were some of those things that you did when you hung out with family when you were younger? So there's another way to think about that photograph experience. What are those pictures of? What were you actually doing with family? And what was your role? What role did you always end up in? That may help define some of your interests. Similarly, what are those activities that you participated in when you were 10 that may help you think about your interests? So let's put away the photo album. Maybe. There may be some of this in that photo album. But if you hang out with those family members a little bit longer, or maybe if you still have contact with some of those peers or other students that were in class with you when you were 10, or your friends even from when you were 10, if you still have contact with them, what were the things you were doing and what roles did you play in those things you were doing? So were you a part of 4-H? Were you in the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts? Were you a part of FFA? Do you remember what you were doing and what you enjoyed doing during those activities? I mean, maybe you weren't even a part of all those. Maybe you were in the shop all the time, either at school or with your dad, fixing the car engine, or maybe you were that teacher where you gathered everyone together and taught them things. I mean, what was the activity? What was it that you were doing that people caught you candidly doing in those photographs albums? So I think that reflecting on those moments are going to help you identify your interests. I do think that as you grow and you experience new things, your interests tend to compound, or you get more and more interests. I don't think those base interests ever leave you. I think we always have an interest in something, right? It may just wax or wane, and we always gain more, but I don't think those interests ever go away. I think they just shift or change as we're exposed to new ideas or places or people. Now, I do think that this exercise or exercises should energize you. It can be a little challenging to go down memory lane, and it can be hard for some people to go down memory lane because it's not always the best memory, right? So if you head down a path that is uncomfortable for you, decide if that discomfort is really because you're in a new place and you're starting to be defeatist, like you're saying things like, "Oh, that was never an interest. I don't really think that was an interest," or "No, I'm not really interested in that." That's defeatist. That's pushing things aside instead of exploring them. But if you're struggling with something that is emotionally traumatic as you go down this memory lane, or if it keeps you from going down memory lane, then please pause that work. I would recommend working with a mental health professional if you're able. Please do that so that you can get beyond that trauma. And then come back and let's get back on this passionate journey, because this should energize you. It shouldn't tear you down. It shouldn't make you feel terrible. It shouldn't make things pop up that are uncomfortable or cause extreme traumatic stress. I don't want to do that at all. I want you to be energized. So once you do find those interests, what do? Go write them down. And you can do that easily by downloading that Find Your Passion workbook that I created. If you have it already, just go in there and start to write them down, because you've already done that with your skills. If you don't have that workbook already, there's a link in the blog post that's going to be out on Monday, the 28th of February. And you can use that link, or you can just go to comingouttaro.com. There's an easy link on the homepage about Find Your Passion. You can then sign up for the newsletter. Real simple, easy. You'll get a link for that download, and then you can write these down on there, and you'll have one place to start keeping track of how you're finding your passion. I think finding your passion is something that is exciting, it's easy, and it's something that you should review every once in a while in your life, because I think your passion changes based on your stages of life and the things that you've been exposed to. So this is your opportunity to find out what really is your passion, so that you can find yourself fulfilled, you can find yourself driving to be successful in a way that is important to you and not important to other people or fulfilling other people's dreams or interests, but actually fulfilling yours. So that's what I am hoping for you. And once you've got all that together, you're home free, right? So thanks, everybody.